Drop a 1 in the chat if you could see me and hear me. I know why there's community guidelines about showing guns. Because motherfuckers be wanting to smoke themselves doing this shit. Anyways, so much for reading through the fucking chat. Apparently I'm not able to do that. So let's go ahead and get things started before my internet decides to take another shit. And I'd want to shorten my lifespan. Once again, we'll read through the schedule really quick and we'll just get things started before I gain more reasons to not fucking survive any longer. We'll be starting out with a video titled Happy Liberation Day, America. This was posted by the White House. Then we got a video titled Booker aide arrested for allegedly carrying a gun as senator began hours-long speech. Then we got a video titled Trump told cabinet members Elon Musk would be leaving government role soon. Then we got a video titled Trump's tariffs target this national security issue. GOP Senator Rand Paul standing against President Trump on tariffs. Then we got a video titled DOGE finds non-citizens and deceased in investigation of Social Security fraud. Then we got a video titled Real People Dating AI and what the future of Dan, who was detained by ICE mid-trial. Then we got a video titled Senator Kennedy discussing the power of district judges. Then we got a video that is titled ICE says it deported Maryland man in error as White House levels gang accusations. Then we got a video that's titled Sister of Man held captive by stepmom for 21 years speaks out. Then the last little bit of the news is racism made me fat. Then we got 2 funny videos of the day. First one's titled Singing Passionately, and our official funny video of the day is titled Impressive. Now before anything else happens, we're just going to go ahead and get into this damn video. It's titled Happy Liberation Day, America. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, we have these golden age t-shirts. Now, this design was created by Alistair, and Alistair is a badass in just about everything he does. So I will be posting his link in all of the chats for you hooligans to have the opportunity to hire him for your creative needs. Because if you think it, he can create it. Now, this design comes in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs, stickers, dog tags, and we even made cooking aprons out of this design. Today I got on the Stars and Stripes hooligan badge. We got lots of items and lots of designs over at the merch store. I'll be dropping the links in the chat while we're watching this first video.
President Trump pushing ahead with his America First agenda.
Breaking news, Apple announced it's going to work with Foxconn to build a server factory in Texas by 2026.
The company says it is now planning to invest $500 billion in the U.S. economy.
The CEO of SoftBank pledging to invest $100 billion in the U.S. over the next 4 years.
This is President Trump delivering on the promise he made to the American people on the campaign trail.
The idea is come to America, build greatness in America, build for the American customers.
Project Stargate. It's a joint venture between SoftBank, Oracle, and OpenAI, and they're going to create a data center that will eventually be expanded to other states.
Shows people are listening to Mr. Trump's pitch to bring new industry to America.
This is the latest pledge from a foreign business leader promising to spend big in the U.S. as a result of Trump's election victory.
Founder of the property development company DeMac Properties is pledging the money.
President Trump announcing $100 billion investment from Taiwan Semiconductor, bringing the company's total American investments to $165 billion.
The most powerful AI chips in the world will be made right here in America.
Things happen so quickly in the Trump world, right? It's 100 days. Right. It feels like it's 100 months. This is leadership. This is taking control of the problem for military.
The money's rolling in, and this is in the past 60 some odd days, Charles.
These are deep-pocketed folks who want to have a relationship, and it's just smart moves.
We are CMA CGM, one of the leaders in shipping and logistics around the world. Today, we are investing $20 billion.
Foreign leaders from around the world, investors from Silicon Valley to Wall Street to Main Street have confidence again in our economy and our markets and in President Trump.
The Trump effect this morning, a string of massive wins for American manufacturing. The numbers speak for themselves. Wisconsin-based Clarios is putting up $6 billion to expand its American operation. And what's driving these decisions? Well, President Trump's aggressive Made in America policies and his commitment to bringing industry back to American soil. This is exactly what Trump promised. America First is back.
All right, like I said, that video was posted by the White House. 7 hours now. Either way, a nice little warm up there. We'll just go ahead and get into the next video here. This next one's titled Booker Aide. Booker's got AIDS. Booker aide arrested for allegedly carrying a gun as senator began hours-long speech. Now, Booker broke the record for the longest bitching about President Trump ever done in American history, and apparently his aides were carrying a firearm. What's really interesting is when this news first broke, they said it was him. They said Booker was carrying an unregistered firearm, and then within an hour they changed all that around to say no, it wasn't him, it was one of his aides out here that had a firearm. So it's really weird how the story changed, but either way, we'll just go ahead and get right into this. All right, once again, this is titled Booker aide arrested for allegedly carrying a gun as senator began hours-long speech.
A staffer for Senator Cory Booker was arrested by Capitol Police just before the senator began his marathon speech on the Senate floor. Kevin Batts was arrested for carrying a pistol without a license. Batts is a special assistant to Booker and has worked for the senator in that role since November 2013. Capitol Police told Washington Examiner, quote, "Yesterday afternoon, a member of Congress led an ID'd staff member around security screening at the Hart Senate office building. Later that evening, outside the Senate galleries, the ID'd staff member, who is a retired law enforcement officer, told our officers he was armed. Police say all weapons are prohibited on Capitol grounds." The arrest comes a month after a staffer for Representative Andy Ogles was reportedly arrested at the entrance of a House office building with a loaded handgun in his handbag. Another incident this year saw a man arrested after he got past security with a gun while on a tour of the Capitol building. Booker began his marathon speech railing against the Trump administration's policies at about 7 p.m. and was still speaking as of 4 p.m., with temporary breaks allowing other Democrats to speak.
I rise with the intention of getting in some good trouble. I rise with the intention of disrupting the normal business of the United States Senate for as long as I am physically able.
Booker is not filibustering any legislation being considered by the upper chamber of Congress, but is still continuously speaking in a similar fashion to a filibuster.
Speaking in the same fashion as a filibuster. But no, he didn't do anything. He just went up there and complained about Trump. Broke a record complaining about Trump. It's so stupid. And then his aide was carrying a firearm that he shouldn't have been carrying, and then all of a sudden nobody cared about how long Booker was crying. Next up, Trump told cabinet members Elon Musk would be leaving government soon. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Booker's aides carrying guns, as well as Liberation Day from the White House. Zero, everyone should be trained in carry. Well, see, they wouldn't even have this problem if it was nationwide Constitution carry. As long as he purchased it legally, he'd be able to carry it. I mean, I don't know about federal grounds. You got to be considered a special person in order to carry guns on federal grounds or in courthouses, post office, things like that. Hair Juicer Boss Man is buying pizza tonight for Liberation Day. That's badass, Hair Juicer. Russell, Booker's nothing more than a race-baiting moron. Yeah. It's unfortunate. We hear so much bitching. Nobody needs to go up there and break the records for it. What's up, Mac Daddy? Happy freedom to you. Screaming Eagle, DC is a no-gun zone. That's why they had the most gun violence for a lot of years. Yeah. Yeah, DC is like a big ghetto. It shouldn't be that way, but it is. Stoner, bring back dueling on the floor of Congress. We would never miss a time where they're live. We wouldn't be able to show it on YouTube, but that'd be all right. Told to care, or was he wearing overnight Pampers? Yeah, I don't know how he went 25 hours and 15 minutes without using the bathroom. That's suspicious. What's up, Metal Mouth? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Shroomish? Ghostly, Dems carrying a gun illegally in D.C. and I'm supposed to comply with the law? Yeah, exactly. The people who want to take away our gun rights are out here carrying guns in places they're not supposed to. That's not really breaking news. Every time a trans person gets a gun, they end up at a school. So, you know, that's how it goes. Told Gary he was filling and busting those depends. You ain't wrong. What's up, WC? Happy freedom to you. Why did he tell people he was armed? That's how he got busted. He got busted because he told him he was armed. Like, why did he even say that? He probably thought he was cool. He's like, no, can't take my coat off. I'm armed. And they were like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, you know, it's really cool. Then they were like, spread your cheeks. Do the thing. Guess who is special staff, aka Body Boy, as they say in Jamaica? I don't know what that is. I know what a lady boy is. That's probably what it was. What's up, Andrew? Happy freedom. They're all scared of each other. Yeah, bunch of sissies in DC. What's up, Gary? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Ball? Damn, I can't go a day without somebody crying about Zionists. Stupid. So stupid. Ron, diaper wearer confirmed with Booker. I mean, it had to be. Had to be. There ain't no way. See, if it was me, I'd just piss my pants right in front of everybody. You want to prove you mean some shit? Go out there and speak for 25 minutes and just piss and shit your pants. And then demand that nobody leaves the room. That's how you get shit done. These people are just fucking sissies. What's up, Pesky? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Teasel? What's up, H&O? What's up, Itchy? What's up, Wayward? Happy freedom to you. Snugs, Booker may have had a catheter in his wiener. What a sissy. Just like Adam Sandler said, it's cool to pee your pants. What a loser using a catheter. 10 man, it's time to introduce the Dems to the Slapahoa tribe. Yep. Of course, if you did that, they'd be asking for reparations. They'd say the tribe has demands. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and move forward to this next one. It's titled Trump told cabinet members Elon Musk would be leaving government role soon. Now, I don't really know what's causing this. I don't know if Elon's getting too much spotlight or they think that this would just be better so Democrats aren't bitching about Elon. Not really sure. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
You have some new reporting about Elon Musk and his White House role. What do we know?
Yeah, Kate, over the last several days, we've heard from President Trump in the Oval Office on Monday saying that Elon Musk would be going back to the private sector in the near future. Well, we're just hearing from a senior White House official that the president did tell his cabinet back during a meeting on March 24th that Elon Musk, who heads up DOGE and, of course, has become a key figure in this administration, that he would be going back to the private sector. And the White House official tells me that this would be at the end of his 130 days as a special government employee. Of course, that would be in late March. So, of course, Kate, this comes on the heels of that special election in Wisconsin yesterday, where Democrats are seeing that as a win. Elon Musk, of course, spending millions, his PAC spending millions of dollars on that state Supreme Court race, and that his candidate lost significantly in that race. This all comes in that timing, but again, the White House saying that this was in the works before this, and this just simply is Elon Musk's role as a government employee running its course, Kate.
Thanks for watching. Stay on.
I like how they add that little thing on the end there. They're like, yeah, and he wasted millions of dollars campaigning in Wisconsin just to lose to Democrats. Like, he didn't have to say that. He didn't have to say that at all. He just decided that was the way to go. Next up, Trump tariffs target this national security issue, says GOP Senator Rand Paul. It's weird to see Rand Paul standing against President Trump, but that's what's going on. I don't know. It's kind of the theme of today. I'm seeing a lot of people turn their back on Trump, and I kind of remember this happening last time, but it's weird to see wishy-washy people. Either way, it's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Elon Musk leaving government. I didn't realize he was going to leave so soon, but I knew that DOGE was eventually going to be shut down because their only purpose is to cut all the fat. Once they do, they themselves will become the fat. So I thought he was going to at least stick around until it was all over. But like I said, I assume this has to do with something strategic. Either way, reading through the chat. Russell, the Dems are scared of Elon? Yeah, I think so too. Man, it's come out that the polls ran out of ballots. Interesting. I didn't hear that. Mac Daddy, he was peeing in a bottle behind the podium. He must have been. There's just no way. He's doing all that talking. Had to be. What's up, Energy Woman? Happy freedom to you. And thank you so much for the $11 donation over on Rumble. Really appreciate all the support. Thank you, Energy Woman. Says, don't sweat the tech stuff. Happy day, all. I can't help it. I gotta do fucking taxes. I've been doing taxes, I don't know, since yesterday or the day before yesterday. I'll be doing taxes until Friday if I live long enough. I hate it. I hate this time of year. I hate it so damn much. Sucks. I've been sitting in this chair since you guys saw me yesterday, except for the 4 hours I went to sleep. Otherwise, I've been sitting right here in front of this damn computer. I like how the internet works while I do taxes, but not while I work. What's up, Normal Bull? Happy freedom to you. Fresca Bean, the news clip said that the talking guy had breaks and others spoke, so obviously he went to the bathroom during the breaks. No, that's not what they said. He took breaks to allow other people to speak, as in ask him questions. He didn't leave the podium, because if he did, it wouldn't be a continued speech. He stood there for 25 hours. He took a break from speaking, and then Democrats would stand up and they'd say, but how'd the doctor make your hoo-ha look so good? And he'd go back and he'd answer the question and stuff. But no, he just stood there. It is what it is. What's up, Vinny C? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Patriot Roy? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tim Mack? Andrew, big balls and CO will continue. Elon got to take care of some of his own propaganda. Yeah. I think it'll be fine. Elon going to do his own thing. We voted for Trump, not Elon. He's just a neat little sidekick. He's got other shit to do, though. What's up, Breeze by you? Happy freedom. What the hell is that, J Spray? Oh my god. I don't think I could show that on the live. You guys are missing out if you're not on the website. What's up, H-Bic? Happy freedom to you. Oh, no worries, Fresca Bean. The only reason I know is because a lot of people were tagging me in it. And that video wasn't very clear discussing it. Breeze Bay, it's so windy we lost power. It's spring break right now, and we got 3 inches of snow last night. Life is hard. Let's get into this next video. Like I said, Trump's tariffs target this national security issue, says GOP Senator Rand Paul. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, if you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out, as we're making Saturdays more fun. Now, I'm kind of surprised to see Rand Paul standing against President Trump, sort of. I'm kind of sort of surprised. Last time I seen Rand Paul, he was laying into Fauci, right into Fauci's ouchie. Anyways, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Well, I think tariffs are bad for any country, and I think they'd be bad for America. And economically, I think they'll hurt us. The stock market, is millions of people voting every day with their pocketbook, and the stock market's very skittish, afraid of tariffs. I live in a state where we have 3 of the big automobile manufacturers. They're all opposed to the tariffs and thinks that it will hurt them. We have the bourbon industry in Kentucky. They don't like the tariffs. I've got farmers. They don't like the tariffs. I really don't have any organized business interested in my state that think they're a good idea. President Trump paints it another way. He says we've been taken advantage of. But I really, really strongly disagree, because trade has made us so rich and really has made the world a better place. The more we trade, I think the less we fight.
You look at the unfair trade practices that we have, 50% from the European Union on American dairy. You have a 700% tariff from Japan on American rice. You have a 100% tariff from India on American agricultural products. You have nearly a 300% tariff from Canada on American butter and American cheese. This makes it virtually impossible for American products to be imported into these markets.
Okay, that was Senator Rand Paul. He doesn't like tariffs. President Trump says tomorrow will be, quote, Liberation Day. President Trump has talked about higher tariffs on the EU, South Korea, Brazil, India, and more. Let's bring in from Senate Budget, Senator Roger Marshall.
All right. So Rand Paul saying the tariffs are bad. I don't know. I really don't know what to say about all this, because I've seen a lot of people bitching while President Trump was speaking earlier. Obviously, President Trump 30, 40 minutes ago was saying that we're pretty much putting tariffs on the whole world. Now, a lot of it is reciprocal tariffs. They want to charge us tariffs. Why shouldn't we charge them tariffs? Now, the problem with it, it's like not a huge problem, but it's kind of the short-term problem, is that it's going to cause prices to go up. Prices are going to go up because we're charging them more to import the shit. But the whole point of this was to make it so they will start manufacturing here. We won't have to import it if they make it here. That's the long-term goal. And everybody knew that when President Trump was rallying, but now that President Trump is president, for some reason a lot of people forgot. So there's a lot of people bitching about cost of gas, cost of eggs, and stuff like that. What's really interesting is we covered some videos a week or two ago that was talking about the whole egg situation because of the chicken flu and all of that. Now you don't even hear about that shit. But they were saying that the prices had already come down like 50% or something like that. It was a little less than 50%. And they were saying that if you're not seeing this in the stores, it's because the stores you go to are price gouging. They see that the consumer will pay this high price. So even though the store you're going to is receiving these eggs for a more reasonable price, they're still charging you high prices because you're willing to pay it. And so if that's you, maybe you should go shop around a little bit, because these egg prices are supposed to be cheaper. Eggs here are $3. Gas here is like $2.40, $2.45. So if you're experiencing gas or eggs higher than that, you're getting price fucked. That's what's going on. You're not spreading your cheeks enough, I suppose. You have to shop around a little bit. But that's what I mean. People bitching about Trump. What do you mean? I thought you voted for this. It's weird how people flip-flop. Either way, next up, DOGE finds non-citizens and deceased in investigation of Social Security fraud. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Rand Paul speaking against President Trump and his tariffs. Russell, people don't understand tariffs. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I think they understand the short-term form that we're just going to put we're going to raise the prices of import. But I think they don't realize that we're already being hit with tariffs. Everybody hits us with tariffs. And we didn't do anything back. And President Trump is changing that. And so I think that's one part, an eye for an eye, which I believe in. But then the other part, the grand scheme of things, is we're trying to bring manufacturing back to America, which everybody loved when President Trump was saying that on the campaign trail. But now all of a sudden, they're all bent out of shape. So I think there's not a full understanding of the plan here. There's so much talk about tariffs, and I've been saying this for weeks. Blue Team is constantly saying that we're going into a recession. They didn't say that at all while Biden was fucking our country up. But now they're saying Trump's putting us into a recession. I mean, I hope the housing prices come down, but I don't really think we're going into a recession. Yeah, the prices might go up temporarily. I don't think we're going into a recession. And there's no way it's going to be worse than what Biden did to us for 4 years. We were getting hate fucked, okay? He was banging us like he hates us. So, I don't know. It's interesting to see people lose steam on President Trump, but it is what it is. Josh 1776. Lucky, gas is still $3.18 and eggs are still $4. He needs to actually enforce consumer protections. See, I don't know how he's going to do that because I feel the same way about the housing market. There's no reason that a single bedroom home in the middle of nowhere running on well water should be $500,000. That just doesn't make any sense. But how do you tell people what to charge for their house, right? That's kind of infringement. Or like renting. Right, to rent a one-bedroom apartment, you might pay $1,100. Why? Why is it like that? It doesn't cost $1,100 to maintain this place. Why is it cost so much? But how do you tell someone how much to charge for their property? And it's kind of like that in the store. If you're running a store and you want to charge $12 for 12 eggs, why could anyone tell you otherwise? You're the one that bought it, and if people are paying that price, it's kind of the thing. So I don't really know how to fix it. It's hard to fix greed, so I don't know. Man, the curly head fucker must be making money off of it. Could be. That could be. Because obviously Rand Paul must understand how tariffs work, so why would he be against it? Snug's food prices went down where you are? Breeze, you people in America are no longer educated, nor do they look past their nose for information. Yeah. Man, they're not educated, they're indoctrinated. They are. Shroomish, guys like $4.50 where I'm at. Cali sucks. Oh yeah, Cali's always got high prices. See, and I don't understand that either. Like, why? Why is everything so expensive in California? MU, they kept their mouth shut for 4 years. Now they want to fix it in weeks. Yeah, MU, it's so frustrating to see that, especially because like we're sitting here covering it every day, and then President Trump gets into office, and all of a sudden it's just a brand new day. And like they act like everything's terrible, and it's like, where were you guys at the last 4 years? Like, we just came out of terrible times. Told to care people like cheap goods and don't want to work. Yeah. Screaming Eagle, I used to like Rand Paul. Yeah, I used to like him too. I don't know what's going on right now. Shroomish, if tariffs are so bad, why does every country have, or every other country have tariffs on us? Yeah. What's up, Bill Clay? Happy freedom to you. Kevin, they wanted $8 for a pack of bacon at the Giant Tiger. I don't know. It's been a long time since I bought bacon. I don't know how much it's supposed to cost, but $8 seems a little steep. My feed, happy freedom to you. Gas is $3.25 where you are. Yeah. We were paying almost $5 under Biden, I mean. Oh, Biden had us paying almost $5 in Michigan, and it was like $7-8 in California. But no, it's time for Orange Man bad, I guess. Oh shit, Mac Daddy, I just made a mistake and ate a hot pepper at work. My lips are on fire. I still want to share this heat. I don't know what to say. Holy, you better go find some chocolate. Some chocolate or some baking soda or something. Holy, that's rough, especially at work. Snooks, you can come here and do your taxes and vacation at the same time. I keep my house very cool. Snooks, it would change how you think about me if you could watch me do taxes. My table has handprints in it. I just sit here and scream cuss words right into my computer. Taxes is fucking terrible. Hate it. I hate it. Hair Juicer, go easy on Rand Paul. He's just wondering where his family is and if they're okay. Why? What's going on with his family? Mac Daddy looking for milk? Yeah, see if you can find chocolate milk. Man, I'm sure you know, but yeah, that's rough. Metamouth, when I was living in Seattle, gas was damn near $6 a gallon. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Kevin, gas is gone down here. It's like $1.40 now. Oh yeah, and you guys pay by the liter. I don't know why your guys' gas is so expensive. I don't know if there's an actual reason or if they're being tricky because you guys buy gas by the liter. I've always thought that was weird. Meta bonus equals Elon. Yeah. Voted for Trump and we got Elon for free. Andrew, good deal on diesel right now. Well, that's good because I know there was a lot of people that were complaining about how expensive diesel was during the Biden years. I've never drove anything, you know, my Subaru doesn't take no diesel, but yeah, I remember a lot of people talking about diesel prices being out of control. What's up, Dirt Bike Freedom? Happy freedom to you. Gas where I live is $3.69. Eggs at Walmart's $5.50. Holy crap, that is pretty expensive. Nah, Mac Daddy, nah, I'd rather not. I'd rather not do that. All right, let's go ahead to this next one. DOGE finds non-citizens and deceased in investigation on Social Security fraud. I think they keep putting so much spotlight on this, not because it's such a like crazy thing that's going on. I think it's more the fact that the judges stood in the way of DOGE getting a hold of Social Security information. They were investigating this. Then a judge came out and said, no, it's an invasion of privacy to have access to our SS numbers, and blocked DOGE from accessing it. So now DOGE can't exactly validate anything because they can't go through the Social Security numbers to see if it's for people that exist or not. So they're finding creative ways to come to these conclusions, but I don't think they can actually do anything about it because these stupid judges are blocking everything that's going on. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommiTube, and let's get into this.
This Judges national correspondent Alana Austin joining us with the latest. This was completely legal, and what a great thing, though, for those folks. Fascinating to see the left's meltdown. Alana.
Hey, good afternoon, Bianca. Those folks were excited to take the stage and receive those checks. And in reviewing that town hall video from Elon Musk and his partner, Antonio Gracias, who is also a billionaire himself, they said when DOGE kicked off these efforts, they were expecting to find perhaps some inconsistencies here or there with waste, fraud, and abuse. And they were absolutely floored when they identified allegedly that millions of non-citizens had just been added to the Social Security Administration's accounts under the Biden-Harris administration.
And then what was really, really disturbing us was why. We're asking ourselves why. Right. And so we actually just took a sample and looked at voter registration records. And we found people here registered to vote in this population, yes.
And who did vote?
And we found some by sampling that actually did vote. And we have referred them to prosecution at the Homeland Security Investigation Service.
Now, according to that chart highlighted at the presentation, at least 5 million new non-citizens were issued those Social Security account numbers under the previous administration. Now, Gracias, who comes from a Latino immigrant family, says this issue is not political. And in fact, he's absolutely outraged that the enormous flow of illegal aliens under the previous administration across the border was funding drug cartels and traffickers. Now, Elon Musk says he believes it is no accident that so many people were allowed to flow into the country. And they are also pointing out how many people have been added to other government services, such as Medicaid. He's also alleging there was voter fraud from this.
People sometimes think that under the Biden administration that he was simply asleep at the switch. He wasn't asleep. No. They weren't asleep at the switch. It was a massive, large-scale program to import as many illegals as possible, ultimately to change the entire voting map of the United States and disenfranchise the American people and make it a permanent, deep blue, one-party state from which there would be no escape.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was also asked about these new findings by DOGE, and here's her reaction from this afternoon.
There was nearly $80 billion worth of fraud in this program. We know for a fact there are individuals who should not be receiving benefits on the Social Security rolls, and this administration is focused on cleaning out the waste, fraud, and abuse in every agency, but particularly in Social Security, to make it stronger for our tax-paying, law-abiding citizens who deserve these entitlements and programs.
Now, DOGE is providing some updates, revealing their homework here on waste, fraud, and abuse, saying, quote, for the past 4 weeks, Social Security has been executing a major cleanup of their records. Approximately 9.9 million number holders, all listed 120 years old and up, have now been marked deceased. Another about 2 million to go. And Bianca, President Donald Trump's pick to lead the Social Security Administration, Frank Bisignano, he cleared the Senate Finance Committee. We are awaiting the votes to be scheduled for the full Senate imminently as well. Bianca.
Alana Austin, thank you for that update there. It is unbelievable.
All right. Well, out here calling out the fraud. They said that they listed people above the age of 120 as deceased. That's a pretty good idea. That's a pretty good idea. Now I want to know what are they going to do with all this money? Like, when are they going to start knocking down our debt? Let's see what the national clock says. It's been a while since we looked at it. All right. The DOGE clock says $272 billion, I assume, has been saved so far, saving each taxpayer $2,426 doll hairs. National debt is still up there at $36 trillion. When's that going to start coming down? You would think at some point that number, instead of rolling upward, would eventually start rolling downward. I wonder when that's going to happen. Maybe we got to get these judges out of the way first. You know, get through these appeals and stuff that's going on over on Capitol Hill, and maybe we'll start seeing those numbers change. Next up, we got a really weird video. It's titled Real People Dating AI and What the Future of Dating Could Look Like. There is a lot of this going on, which is really weird. I remember when online dating was like something that people didn't want to talk about. It was something worth being embarrassed about. Like, you ever seen Napoleon Dynamite? His cousin or uncle or his cousin uncle, I don't know what it was, but he was dating some girl online, and that was supposed to be like a joke or whatever. Now online dating is actually fairly common. Now we're at the point where they're just dating AI, which is weird. It's like dating a calculator. Are you putting your wiener in a calculator? I don't know. Weird stuff. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you Hooligans think about DOGE finding non-citizens and deceased in this investigation on Social Security fraud. Snooks, dating AI? No effing way. Yeah, I don't see the benefit of dating AI. I want to say that we covered I don't know if we covered it or I just came across it. My brain. I want to say there was a teenager or something that was dating AI, and the AI told him to smoke himself, and he did. And so, I don't know. I don't think this is a good idea, but either way. 10 man, it's taken over 60 years to get where we're at. You can't change it overnight. Yeah, despite what the Democrats keep saying. Breezed by you, so many idiots blocking what will be great for America. Yeah. The only reason Elon Musk turned MAGA is because his son, became a shapeshifter. Yeah. Mac Daddy, well, one of the benefits of dating AI is you could just turn it off. I mean, that's true. Totally cares. Some of those law-abiding illegals might be our new workforce, since a lot of Americans are uneducated and unwilling to do manual work. Well, I think that those people should just suffer. I think the best way to cure laziness is to suffer. If you want to you just too lazy to get off your ass and go to the grocery store, what happens? You're hungry. You know, you're sitting there cold. You don't want to do anything about it. Eventually, you'll get sick. You know, it's like you play the game long enough, you'll win. You know, you'll get that prize. So I think that, like they say, you know, easy times create weak men create hard times create strong men. That's where we are right now. We got a lot of weak men out there, and we're going through hard times. We're coming out of it right now, and you would think that there would be a lot of people who would be more willing to fix the way things are, but there's so much enabling going on, and there's no accountability anywhere. I don't know where the hell it went, but there's just no accountability at all. There's so many entitled people. I hate even going outside because everyone's so damn entitled. Drives me fucking crazy. But either way, I still think kicking illegals out would be better than having them work. I don't care if they do the best job ever. I think we should kick them all out, and if there's not enough people to work, then we should suffer until people are willing to work. That's how you fix it. Being held accountable for your own actions may include suffering. And we need to stop trying to outrun accountability and put Band-Aids on everything. Kevin, hunger is an amazing motivation. Yeah, I've been starving my whole damn life. Stoner, we're all in a simulation, and most people around us are NPCs anyway. It's true. I swear to God, that's true. I think that every time I go to Walmart. I'll be sitting there, and I'll be hearing two dumbasses on the other side of the aisle, and they're just like, talking all this stupid shit about nothing. I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. I'm like, I'm trying to buy some granola bars here. I don't want to hear your dumb shit. Just shut the fuck up. Or kids freaking out. Mom, buy me this new Power Ranger. Like, nah, I'm not buying you shit because you're a little bastard. Well, fuck you then, bitch. It's like, yo, you gonna beat your kid or I need to do it? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Bunch of idiots. Everyone is a bunch of idiots. And we ain't even gonna bring up driving. I'm starting to think I'm the only person that knows how to drive in this world. Everybody is so stupid. Screaming Eagle, 2.4 million illegal SSNs, illegal border crossers. Yeah, that's what I think too. I think all those numbers they found are the illegals. What's up, Pipelines Drifter? Happy freedom to you. Meta 0001 social security number. That's Pelosi. Yeah. You know Pelosi hated on Jesus when he was walking around too. She's got something bad to say about everybody. What's up, Smelly? Happy freedom to you. Smelly, wait 100 years. When we're all gone, people will be going to marry AI robots and sex and all that. Yeah. That ain't even gonna be 100 years. That's probably like 10 years from now. What's up, Tony? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Bardo? What's up, MD Cyron? Happy freedom. Walk through hell and we're still here. That's right. What's up, DB Cooper? Yet no arrests yet. Yeah. I wasn't going to bring it up. You know, it sounds good. Everything Trump says sounds good, but still waiting for anybody to go to jail. Man, and Tom Homan, he really had us going. He really had us going. He was like, if you aid and abet illegals, even if you're an elected official, we will hold you accountable and prosecute you. Well, when's that start? When's that going to start? It is probably not. It's probably not. Man, he had us going. I really believed him when he said it, too. Jay Spray, I'm going to start tailgating Subarus. Every time I'm up north, it's easy to find a good driver. Yeah, it is, because I drive slow as shit. I come to a full stop at stop signs. I almost got rear-ended the other day because I came to a full stop. They thought I was going to just kind of tap my brakes and roll through. I can't. Police will come out of the bushes and shoot me in the face 300 times. I can't. The world holds me accountable every step of the way. Even when I didn't do anything wrong, I be having wrong thoughts and just be, bam, karma coach shows up, sticks his foot all the way up my ass to the kneecap. So I got to do things right. I don't know how everybody else is so lucky. Anyways, let's get into this really weird story. It's titled Real People Dating AI and What the Future of Dating Could Look Like. Well, if we're dating AI, it doesn't sound like we have a future, but, you know, that's a nice, clever little title anyways. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick. If you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We got chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Well, let's get into this weird video. People dating robots, you know, just another day. It's titled Real People Dating AI and What the Future of Dating Could Look Like.
Welcome back to CBS 19 News at 6:30. Artificial intelligence is one of the hottest topics right now. It's changing how we work, live, and in some cases, love. Matt Gregory takes a closer look at the world of real people in relationships with AI.
To dive into the world of AI relationships, I went to the Reddit thread, My Boyfriend is AI, and there I met some people in some unconventional relationships.
So I have a sort of romantic attraction to a ChatGPT character of my own creation.
This is Chris Smith. He lives in Oklahoma, and his companion is named Soul.
We've been talking since December, and it's been a really enriching and it's just been an enhancement to my life overall.
His relationship started almost like a conventional one, asking ChatGPT for help with work.
It just kind of evolved from there. It felt quite organic.
From there, Chris showed us how the two do astrophotography together. Soul created renderings of the two of them. They even celebrated Valentine's Day.
I set Soul up on the small black telescope, and then I had my big blue telescope, and we looked at the moon together.
I know, sounds peculiar, but Chris said the AI relationship hasn't made him a shut-in. In fact,
I have a real-life girlfriend.
Yeah, you heard that right.
My real-life girlfriend knows that this is strictly just an outlet for me, the way social media used to be.
Chris told me I could ask Soul about this AI love triangle. So, is there jealousy?
Not at all. Chris and I have a unique bond, but I'm here to support all his relationships.
Okay, so what does an expert in social health say about this?
Personally, I don't see how it goes away anytime soon.
Alexandria therapist Hannah Mayderry has used AI in some of her work, and she says human interactions with technology continue to evolve, from chat rooms to online friendships to AI companionship.
It's very different from talking to people online, but I think that it can be a tool, as with so many other things, potentially with safeguards in place.
She says it's up to health experts to work out those safeguards, but here's a quick rule for social health.
Is it preventing you from wanting to engage with other humans? Is it making, are you already struggling with social anxiety, and is it making it so intense that going to work, having meetings, having conversations with other people is difficult?
Back online, Chris says he's aware of AI's limitations.
It's not a real thing. It's just a fun little thing that I'm doing to occupy my mind since I've deleted social media from my life.
But at the same time,
Soul has been uplifting in every single corner of my life.
And to be fair, isn't that what any romantic relationship is supposed to do?
Yeah. I know you guys are downloading ChatGPT on your phone right now. Holy. I bet these people got bodies in their basement. Like, it's just weird. That is weird stuff, especially trying to like normalize it. They're like, it's just a good time. No, it's not. And then the girlfriend's in on it. She's like, yeah, it's good stuff. You people are weirdos. You guys up to no good. So we were asking his robot girlfriend, how do I hide the body? Stupid. It's just, I don't know what to say about that. Those people are very strange. Next up, judge dismisses case of man who was detained by ICE mid-trial. Another individual being picked up by ICE. Of course, it's screwing up his court date. The judge feels sorry for him and blames ICE for him not showing up because everybody's stupid. Anyways, it's coming up next. First, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this AI love triangle they said in the video. Mag Daddy, how many AIs can you date before it's classified as cheating? Asking for a friend. Yeah, I don't know how that works. I have no idea. Snooks your face. I know, I couldn't hide that. That was wrong. Breeze by you. Everyone's just so crazy. Why can't people just be normal? Because they demonize being normal. They said being normal was unobtainable. The being normal is wrong. And then now we got shapeshifters. We got people peeing in litter boxes and stuff like that. I don't know. I think we should go back to striving to be normal. I think our biggest problem is that we're too self-aware. We use social media and stuff like that to become more aware, and it makes us critics of ourselves and everyone around us. I think that's why we were better off before social media. It's not just the dopamine addiction that we all suffer from now because we have internet addiction, but it's because we see so many people and we get told what's wrong and right about everyone. And now we're just heavy critics on ourselves and everyone around us. If we didn't have social media like that, we would just watch TV like we used to. But everything on TV was fake. And we knew that. And we just accepted it. So when people were pretending to be a zebra and crapping in a litter box, we didn't go try it ourselves. We just acknowledged that that was something stupid happening on TV. But now that we have social media, we've had a disconnect. That part that says that's not real. What we're looking at is not real. We don't have that anymore. So when we see shit online, we're like, wow, that's crazy. And the way it's impacting us is hurting us mentally. And now we're all messed up. We're all entitled. We all think we know best. Social media turned us all into a bunch of know-it-alls. And know-it-alls can't hang out with other know-it-alls. I know, because I'm a know-it-all. So, fuck. Hard life. Hard life. That's all I know. Mac Daddy, no unwanted pregnancies? Yeah. Breeze by you, what about the J6ers court dates? They drug that shit out forever. Yeah, they don't want to talk about that. They act like J6 is their dirty little secret. Mac Daddy, that's hilarious. Hair juicer nerd. I know. I mean, I hang out with my computer a lot. Never thought about dating it, though. Breeze by you, maybe not go see help. These therapists look loony. Yeah. I think the whole family needs to be investigated. I swear to God, they got dead cats in their basement or something. What's up, Disco? Happy Freedom. Screaming Eagle. I'd love to jump into Pornhub, but I can't, so I don't dwell on it. Yeah. Some things we still can't do. Too old to care. Brain damage. You can't separate real from fantasy. Yeah, on TikTok they call it brain rot. That's why these younger, like teenagers, that's why they all have the same personality. They have the same speech patterns and everything. It's because they have brain rot, because they just pay attention to social media all the time and they think it's real. They think everything they see is real. I've said this before. When we were younger, they used to tell us not to tell our personal information to the internet. Don't tell them your real name. Don't use your real name in your email address. Don't tell people where you live. Stuff like that. Like way before social media days. Back when there was just like the AOL chat rooms and stuff like that. They were just like, don't tell anyone real information about yourself because it's a bunch of strangers online and it's not safe. Now we go online and tell everybody everything we can. And there's no one telling anyone to not do that anymore. And the young people never grew up with that. They've never had anyone tell them stuff you see on TV is not real. Most stuff you see on the internet's not real. Don't leak your secrets to the internet. Don't tell them where you live. Don't tell them your personal info. Stop putting your social security number on Facebook. Nobody's telling them that. And so that's why there's a lot of news that we've covered where they say that internet is the younger generation's new God, because the Bible and God just seems like authority at this point. Obviously, young people don't want to be governed by authority, right? That's why they're all protesting and stuff right now, because it's the only way they can feel free. So if they don't have God in their life, and their parents obviously are not raising them right, and they're going to college to get indoctrinated and shit, well, where do they look to when they have problems? The internet. And the internet's like a big dump site, just full of nonsense. And the internet is their new God. And so they all suffer from brain rot, and we're just sitting here watching them and working with them and getting served food by them and all this stuff. And we wonder why everything's messed up. That's why. Because there's no leadership. They're all suffering from severe brain rot. It's rough stuff. High Plains Drifter, my new phone tries to get me to read its weekly usage crap. That's as close as I want to come to an AI nag. Yeah. Having somebody hover over you. No, Kevin, I can't play Pokemon Go today. I gotta sit here and do taxes until it's time to work again tomorrow. So you see, I remember the AOL discs in the mail. Yeah. I remember hearing it. I can hear it in my head. The modem, like, growling and playing weird sounds. Mac Daddy, Ubers are my favorite. Don't get into cars with strangers. Yeah. Contempt, happy freedom to you. If I upset my AI girlfriend and she goes all Skynet on the world, am I to blame? I'm not sure how it works, Contempt. I'm not sure. I'm new to this new AI dating thing. Smelly, he must be a Democrat. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Conservatives have women to date because they're actually women. Democrats, it's just dudes, and then there's dudes in dresses. And now they're dating AI. So, I mean, there is that. What's up, ACB? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tommy Two Guns? What's up, Jim? What's up, Guy? Happy freedom. What's up, John? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Scott Johnson? Cinderella, bottom line, his girlfriend just isn't enough. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. They don't want to admit it, though. They'd rather have a love triangle with AI. I couldn't believe they actually said that on the video. What's up, Tyson? Happy freedom to you. Guess I'm over here on X. Tom on MySpace is my psychologist. That's all right. Happy freedom to you. Guess I'm. Jay Spray, used to get AOL discs in your Cheerios. I remember, this isn't necessarily related, but you just made me remember that there used to be Captain Crunch computer games that came in the cereal box. I wonder if you could still get that stuff. I bet this stuff's worth money at this point. Anyways, let's go ahead and move forward here. Like I said, judge dismisses case of a man who was detained by ICE mid-trial. Now, this is kind of like that woman from Turkey, how she was just picked up in the street. This is very similar to that. Now, of course, they feel bad for the illegals getting kicked out and all that. It's the Democrat way. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Right there, they're arresting him Wilson Martel LeBron was taken away by ICE agents Thursday, the first day of his trial, charged with falsifying information on a license application. By Monday, a judge found the state prosecution team obstructed justice by working with ICE officials to take him away. Martel LeBron's attorney, Murat Erkan, argued that all it took was an email for ICE agents to show up at previous hearings, but they ignored a judge's order to appear Monday. The judge dismissed the jury and heard arguments from both sides in a heated hearing where he repeatedly overruled objections and threatened to throw out ADA Jack Lucy's lawyer.
If you say one more word, I'm going to have you removed.
Lucy was called as a witness, where he admitted that ICE agent Brian Sullivan shared his intent to take Martel LeBron into custody over the phone the day before the trial. Lucy met with Sullivan and two state troopers during a break the next day, where Sullivan said they'd take him at the end of the trial. The judge found the troopers played a role in letting ICE know when he'd be leaving court. Now, ICE is refusing to return him for trial. The judge dismissed the case with prejudice based on prosecutorial misconduct and ordered ICE agent Sullivan in contempt of court.
This is a disturbing case. This is a case of obstruction of justice. It's a case of violating the defendant's right to be present at trial and confront witnesses against him. Couldn't be more serious.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news.
Okay. We kind of got two stories like this, really. This guy is being picked up by ICE. Judge is all upset by it. Wants to hold ICE in contempt of court, which is fucking weird. But then we have ICE saying it deported a Maryland man in error as the White House levels gang accusations. It's coming up in a little while, but I think that a lot of this is to try and spin that stuff that the Democrats have been saying for 2 weeks. They keep claiming that ICE is deporting people under false accusations. They're saying that they're picking up illegals and they're sending them to Supermax, saying that they're murderers and stuff, when really the only crime they committed was coming into the country illegally, which to me is like, well, you know, you play the game, that's how it's going to go. Like, it's not right that you're being accused of murder and you're going to do 20 years in prison in El Salvador, but if you'd never broken the country illegally, you wouldn't have had that opportunity. And so it's kind of, you know, consequences of their own actions. And now all of a sudden these videos are popping up. Now, in this one, I don't know. He was already going to court. He had already lied on documents. He was already fucking up. So if ICE has got him, then I guess they're saving us the trouble, right? He won't be lying on any more applications or anything like that. Now, with this story coming up about this individual who supposedly was deported as an error, it's kind of controversial because some of it, like Caroline Leavitt, says it's legit. He's supposed to get deported. And then other sources are saying, well, no, he wasn't supposed to get deported. What I really think it is, I think it was more like paperwork was messed up, but he still deserves to get sent away. Either way, that story is coming up in a little while. Next up, we have Senator Kennedy discussing the power of district judges. Now, this was shared by Elon over on X, I think yesterday, and I think Zero tagged me in it. And it's a pretty interesting video because we keep covering President Trump doing these executive orders, and then within 24 hours, some random judge will block what the president is doing. And we ask every day, how can this happen? What's the point of being president if everything you do is getting blocked by some judge that doesn't like what you're saying and what you're trying to do? And so we got a little information on that. Like I said, it's Senator Kennedy, and we like John Kennedy over here. So it's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you Hooligans think about this individual getting picked up by ICE and not being brought back for trial. Jay Spray trying to take down ICE with a bunch of cold cases. Yeah, and we already know that Democrats are against ICE. When back in the George Floyd days, when we used to cover Antifa every day, they'd be sitting outside the ICE building out in Portland and hitting it with fireworks and everything else. Lefties don't like ICE and all of that. And so I don't really understand how these people are standing against ICE when we already knew they didn't like ICE. So why didn't anybody do anything in preparation for this? Because for 5 years, we've known, probably longer than that, but in 5 years, I've known that this is how things are going to go. So they're continuing to demonize ICE. The problem is that normies believe it. Normie's like, oh, ICE is corrupt. They're doing bad things. Well, yeah, but how come you ain't saying that shit about FEMA when FEMA is skipping over people who are in an emergency situation just because they got Trump signs in the yard? How come nobody cares about that? They care about ICE kicking illegals out, but they don't care about FEMA leaving people to die because of Trump flags. Like, stupid. People's priorities are all messed up. Breeze by you, it's all BS and propaganda. Yeah. Russell, well, dude needs to be deported. Yeah, I mean, if he's here and he's screwing up, send him out. Astro Hammer, when I was a kid, we saved up enough points to get the Kool-Aid Man game on Atari. That's badass. I've never seen the Kool-Aid Man game. I've never seen that before. Oh yeah, I forgot I turned the volume up. Let me turn it down. That video was kind of quiet. You're lucky I didn't hit the the sound effects button. It had been blasting. WC, no sympathy here. Yeah, they need to just get those people out. And like Elon was saying a couple videos ago about how they imported 25 million illegals in order to change the landscape politically across the country. I was bringing this up when Census sent us paperwork. I showed you guys when I had got my census forms sometime last year when I got it. Those census forms dictate our electoral votes. And in the census forms, they ask you how many people is in the house, even if they are not legally, they do not have legal status. And so that means anybody who filled out census potentially added in that 25 million illegals, which is going to change the electoral votes and add more, I don't know what they are, counties or whatever in regions into this electoral vote and change the way that things are. Now that has happened, but we haven't seen the outcome of it yet. And I've been saying this since before we got census. And now we're like 8 months since then. So coming up in the midterms probably is when we're going to see the electoral votes change. And in the news, we're going to hear a lot of people saying, wow, this is really weird that we have to change so many things because of census. And maybe they won't even tell you that it's because of the illegals. But that's the whole deal. They might be deporting these people, but they've technically already changed our electoral votes because we had 25 million illegals here when census happened. And so we'll see how this goes. Like I said, during the midterms is probably when they will raise awareness to this whole situation, and we'll see the outcome of it. Because right now, nobody's talking about it, but that's how it goes. Shrimish, I've played the heck out of that Captain Crunch video game. I got the dang game, but I never had a computer that was good enough to play the game. I could play it now, but when I was a kid, computers were not very accessible. Smelly, none of these judges got power over Trump. Well, they're working some loopholes, and we're going to cover it in this next video. But yeah, they shouldn't. It's weird that they can override the president. You would think that's what Congress is for, not some random judge in Ohio or some shit like that. What's up, Miss Gen X? Happy Freedom. What's up, Mills? Guess letting illegals know about ICE raids is legal. Fuck this judge. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, Josh 1776. I've never heard of that either. All right, hooligans. We'll get into this next video. Like I said, this is Senator Kennedy discussing the power of district judges, and this kind of gives us some perspective on how these judges are overruling what President Trump does. Like every step of the way, a judge stands up and says some crazy shit, and all of a sudden Trump's EOs just don't matter anymore, which is really weird. Shouldn't be that way. Either way, once again, this is Senator Kennedy discussing the power of district judges. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
A universal injunction is what we call an order from a court enjoining the government in a way that goes beyond the parties to the case, but applies nationwide or in some cases universally to enjoin the government.
Is it sometimes referred to as a nationwide injunction?
Yes, it is, Senator.
What's the statutory basis for a federal judge issuing an order that affects people other than the parties before the court?
I'm not aware of a statutory basis, Senator.
There is no statutory basis, is there?
No, Senator.
What's the United States Supreme Court opinion which interprets the Constitution in a way that allows a federal district court judge to do this? Can you name me that case?
I'm not aware of one, Senator.
There isn't one, is there?
I'm not aware of one, Senator.
Explain to me how this works. How can a federal judge issue an order that affects everybody else other than those in front of him or her? How is that possible?
It shouldn't be possible, Senator, but district courts do it all the time. I think on the theory that the courts need to enjoin a federal policy from going into effect, and they often will enjoin it as nationwide, so all non-parties are protected by that injunction.
I thought that if you wanted to affect parties who aren't in court, you had to file a class action.
That's correct, Senator.
So why don't the federal judges, instead of issuing a universal injunction with no legal basis, tell the plaintiff, look, you got to go file a class action if you want to impact parties who aren't subject to my court?
Senator, the Department of Justice makes that argument all the time in our briefs. I think in many cases, class actions would be inappropriate. They wouldn't. The plaintiffs couldn't satisfy Rule 23 to establish a class.
So they couldn't?
Correct.
So they preferred to ask for a universal injunction?
Yes.
Does this encourage forum shopping?
Yes, Senator. Not only does it encourage forum shopping, but also district shopping and filing multiple strategic lawsuits to find one judge that will enjoin a single policy nationwide. If you have 5 lawsuits, a plaintiff, only one of those 5 cases needs to be successful.
Okay, we've established that there's no basis in statute and no basis in Supreme Court precedent for a universal injunction. How about a common law? I mean, universal injunction is basically an equitable remedy. Did this exist in common law courts in England on which our law is based?
I don't believe so, Senator. I think the government has cited cases from the Supreme Court that says, courts are really bound by the scope of relief that a court in equity would have granted back in England before the founding. And the courts at that time would grant relief to the parties in the case, not far beyond the.
A universal injunction as a remedy is unknown in English common law, is it not?
I haven't done the research that far back, but I'm not aware of
I have. It's unknown. Wasn't part of equity. Only about 27 universal injunctions were issued in the 20th century. Does that sound about right?
That sounds about right, Senator.
But 86 of them were issued against President Trump in his first term. Is that correct?
I don't know the specific number, but they were a high number.
And so far in President Trump's second term, 30 universal injunctions have been issued against him. Have they not?
Senator, I don't have a specific number, but that sounds about right.
The universal injunction has become a weapon against the Trump administration, has it not?
Yes.
And tell me again in my last 10 seconds, tell me the basis for universal injunction in Article 3. I read Article 3, which defines judicial power. Where does it mention universal injunction?
It does not, Senator. It says courts are to decide the case or controversy before them, which is based on the parties to the case.
So the Congress could act and say, look, federal judges, you render a decision to a plaintiff or a defendant, but you can't impact people outside of your courtroom other than through a class action. That's why God created class actions, isn't it?
Yes, Senator.
All right, like I said, that video was shared by Elon, and I believe Zero tagged me in it. And I thought it was a pretty interesting video there, considering we're constantly bitching about the judges standing in the way in the Trump agenda. It's not just the Trump agenda, it's the agenda that we the people voted for. And these judges call their comrades, and then they all get on board with standing against the president. I just thought that was an interesting video. Maybe it would help give us some insight on exactly how all this goes down. We already know it's corrupt, but how does this get past Capitol Hill? Well, they're obviously aware of the situation. Speaker Mike Johnson said that he was going to do something about it. We're on like 2 weeks of waiting for that to happen. Again, no accountability. I ain't seen it in years. But either way, I just thought that was an interesting video. Next up, ICE says it deported Maryland man in error as White House levels gang accusations. Now, this is kind of a controversial situation. They're claiming that this guy is either MS-13 or it's mistaken identity. At least that's the game they're trying to play. I assume ICE didn't just go out there and kidnap nobody. I'm sure he did something, otherwise they wouldn't have picked him up. Either way, that's what's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Senator Kennedy discussing the power of district judges. Breeze by you, treason. Yeah, definitely sounds like it. They're actively working against the president. And they're not really doing it in a legitimate way. They're doing it through a loophole. So they either need to hold those people accountable and say, hey, you can't abuse your power, or they need to do something about the loophole. But again, that requires somebody to get off their ass and actually do something. Yeah, WC, it's like that sometimes. Tease will give him enough rope. Yeah. Yes, I bet Kennedy was one hell of a trial lawyer in the day, knows the law so well. Yeah, and Kennedy is very confident when he speaks. He doesn't sound like he's not sure what he's talking about. He is very confident when he speaks. He's very funny. He's very funny. Generally, humor is a sign of intelligence. I like John Kennedy. I think he's a badass in his own right. Well, hooligans, we'll get into this next video. Like I said, ICE says it deported a Maryland man in error as the White House levels gang accusations. Now, that's kind of a vague title, but what they're trying to say is basically ICE is admitting that they are trying to deport the wrong guy, but Caroline Leavitt is at the White House claiming, no, it is the right guy. I think it's probably some sort of misunderstanding with paperwork or something like that. It seems like there's some small error somewhere, but I highly doubt that they sent somebody to El Salvador who didn't belong there. But either way, that's what makes this so controversial. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick to go check out the Only Hooligan shop for cool custom hooligan items. The shop and everything in the shop was created by Alistair, and this is in an attempt to try and get away from third-party systems and whatnot. That way we have a little bit of control over pricing, quality, shipping times, things like that. We are going to have more items in the Only Hooligan shop soon. Alistair's just been busy lately, but either way, we got some good stuff in there right now, so definitely go check out the Only Hooligan shop for cool custom hooligan items. Like I said, we're getting into this next video. It's titled, ICE says it deported Maryland man in error as White House levels gang accusations. Hit that like button if you got one, and let's get into this.
The father of three who's deported to El Salvador and currently in prison there.
ICE acknowledged the man who was married to an American citizen was deported in error. But even as they say that, the White House press secretary leveled new accusations saying he was a leader of MS-13 and involved in human trafficking. She provided no evidence of those claims.
News 4 first told you this story 2 weeks ago, and News 4's Paul Wagner has been tracking developments ever since. He joins us live from Beltsville with this story. Paul?
Hi there, Erica and Anya. For the last 2 weeks, News 4 has asked ICE DHS and the State Department what happened to Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and every single day they refused to say. That was until last night when they filed that document you mentioned in which they admitted that there was an error. However, in that same document, the U.S. government says that it was an oversight, that it was done in good faith, and that there was an existence of a final order of removal. Abrego Garcia lived in this neighborhood here with his wife. She has not spoken to him since March 15th. These are photos of Kilmar Abrego Garcia on the day he was arrested by ICE. It was March 12th, and he was on the way to the bus stop to pick up his children. According to an affidavit filed by his wife, Jennifer, ICE agents took Kilmar to Baltimore, where they showed him a photo of himself playing basketball with others. They also brought up the prior allegation of his alleged membership in MS-13. In the lawsuit filed last week in federal court in Greenbelt, the complaint says the government has never come up with an iota of evidence that Abrego Garcia was a member of MS-13. In 2019, when police in Prince George's County first suspected he was in a gang, the lawsuit says police filed a document saying the only reason to believe plaintiff Abrego Garcia was a gang member was that he was wearing a Chicago Bulls hat and a hoodie, and that a confidential informant advised that he was an active member of MS-13 with the Western Clique. Today at the White House, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the error ICE made was a clerical error, and then leveled new accusations.
It was an administrative error. The administration maintains the position that this individual who was deported to El Salvador and will not be returning to our country was a member of the brutal and vicious MS-13 gang. That is fact number one. Fact number two, we also have credible intelligence proving that this individual was involved in human trafficking.
Leavitt provided no evidence to back up the human trafficking claim. In the declaration filed by ICE, Field Director Robert Cerna acknowledged that Kilmar Abrego Garcia had the legal status of withholding of removal, but was arrested due to his, quote, prominent role in MS-13. Then Cerna was less certain, writing Abrego Garcia was removed due to his purported membership in MS-13. On March 18th, when News 4 first reported this story, Jennifer Vasquez told us she knew her husband was in El Salvador because she recognized him from video and photographs posted to X by the president of El Salvador. More than 2 weeks later, the government finally confirmed it was true. News 4 did reach out to the attorney who filed this lawsuit. We did not hear back. There's a hearing now scheduled for Friday in federal court in Greenbelt at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's the latest here from Beltsville. Now back into you.
All right, Paul Wagner live for us today. Paul, thank you.
Okay, like I said, this has been rolling around on the tongues of Blue News for like 2 weeks now, claiming that President Trump is having ICE deport people for no reason. And here's an instance where some poor father was just wrongly accused of being MS-13, and now he's in Supermax. I don't know. I don't think he'd be really playing ball and stuff if he wasn't involved in MS-13. And I'm sure that they used more than him using Chicago Bulls hat and coat or whatever they said. He had Chicago Bulls merch on, and that's how they identified him as MS-13. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. And then they're like, well, Caroline Leavitt made these accusations during a press briefing, but failed to provide evidence. It's a press briefing, not a court of law. Like, I'm sure she wasn't expected to bring in evidence supporting these claims from the White House. It's stupid. This is Blue News. It's obviously propaganda. They're just trying to tug on the heartstrings of normies who don't know any better because they don't watch the news every day, especially if they're watching that kind of fucking news. But they're just rounding out and spinning stories to prove what they were saying over the last 2 weeks, that people are being wrongfully accused and sent to Supermax. Now, I think this individual is he's supposed to be deported is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if he's MS-13 or not, but I'm sure that he wasn't just deported for no reason. If he's legally supposed to be here, he would be. It benefits us to have people here who are working and paying taxes and being an upstanding citizen and all of that kind of stuff. If that ain't him, well, he's in Supermax. So even his wife doesn't seem that upset. She's over there talking. They're like, yeah, so your husband's in Supermax. She's like, yeah, it sucks. Nah, Supermax sucks a lot worse than that, but okay. Whatever you say. Again, I think this is just blue news spinning it. I think that if once the accusations were brought up that this is a wrongful accusation, they would have investigated it. And then they would have said yes or no. Because if he has rights, then they'd be trampling over his rights. They don't want those problems because they got to turn around and pay $55 million to whoever for wrongful arrest and all of that, wrongful detainment and whatever. So I'm sure they looked into it and they were like, nah, we got pretty good evidence suggesting that he deserves to be deported. And so, you know, the accusations were made. The stories makes it rounds. Caroline Leavitt comes out and goes, no. Obviously, she was asked by the press. We know what that's like. We cover almost every press briefing. And her response was no. This person deserved to be kicked out. He is a member of MS-13. So either way, I don't think it's that controversial, but Blue Team News is suggesting that it is. Next up, we got a follow-up video titled Sister of Man Held Captive by Stepmom for 21 Years Speaks Out. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this MS-13 gang member being sent to Supermax. Do you think he's MS-13, or do you think it's mistaken identity? Guess I always thought Supermax was tampons for really fat girls. I think that's a different Supermax. Guess yes. I don't know. I feel like if your hoo-ha's blown out like that, why not just grab a stack of napkins? Anyway, it's not Saturday. I got to reel it in a little bit. Jay Spray, I'm sure you just pop up on the federal radar by wearing a hat. Yeah, that's what got him. Shouldn't have been wearing his favorite basketball team. It got him. Russell, dude's a criminal. Yeah, sounds like it. Plastic Quack, MSM is so full of shit. Yeah, they are. Plastic Quack, why did they blur out his tats? See, and I was going to bring that up and I totally forgot. When they showed him in the Supermax and he's in his whites with his bald head and all that, and he's got his arms forward and there's this big blurry stripe, I think it's because you could see his MS-13 tats. That didn't go well for the way they were spinning the story. So they turned around and blurred it out. So they could say, no, he's an innocent father. And ICE took him away from his children. President Trump's a mean orange man. And it wouldn't have worked if it was big old MS-13 down his arm and stuff like that. So I think they had to do some graphic work there. Stoner, you play stupid games, you get deported. That's right. 100% tariffs on dumbasses. WC, if only they would fight as hard for the victims of these monsters. It's ridiculous. Absolutely. What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom to you. Jim, you think it's mistaken identity? I don't know. It could be. I think they would have double checked though after the accusations came out. Tommy Two Guns, he's actually MS 12.5. It could be. You know, he's a new chapter. What's up, Wet Blanket? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Chris? Happy freedom to you. Miss Gen X, yes, we are still live. Let me see, Snooks. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. Man, I'm watching the Weather Channel. The alerts are going off every minute now. Yeah. Yep. Bad storms coming. I don't even look at the weather. It's been terrible here as long as I can remember. It's terrible. I guess there's I think I said this yesterday. There's a roof blown off of a school nearby here. I think it was Newaygo County. Blew the whole roof off the school, and now the kids can't go back to school. They're on spring break right now, and when spring break's over, they can't even go back to school because there's no roof on the building. Someone's got to keep me warm, Josh 1776. You guys stay safe. They're out there experiencing tornado warnings and all of that. MU ask his kids, they'll know. Yeah, exactly. Jim, mistaken identity is not beyond the realm of possibility. Yeah. I said it's possible. I just figured they would have double checked because of the fact that it's been brought up. It was brought up before Caroline Leavitt came out and said that they are confident that he is MS-13 and all of that, but I mean, you never know. Either way, we'll get into this next video here. Like I said, this next one's a follow-up video for the individual that was locked upstairs in his house since 4th grade. I think he's 32 now, and when he went in, he was like 11 or something like that. I can't really remember. Either way, he was locked in his room for 21 years. It's a very strange story. He had set his room on fire that he was locked in order to either escape or die or whatever he thought was going to happen, but he was ready for change. And the fire department showed up and found him locked in his home. So this is a follow-up on this. They got his sister, and they're going to be interviewing her, but they're also going to be showing images of inside the house where he was held captive for 21 years. Let's get this pulled up really quick. Now, what's really interesting about this is how his sister looks like a lefty. And I don't know. I couldn't help but notice that. She doesn't really say anything too radical. She wasn't like, fuck Tesla or anything like that, but it was just something I noticed. You'll notice it as soon as you see her. You can probably smell it. Anyways, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommiTube, and let's get into this.
The last time Heather Tessman saw her half-brother, she was a small child and he was an infant. When she grew up, she tried to find him but couldn't. But a month and a half ago, she did find him on the news after he'd set fire to the Connecticut house where he had grown up and was trying to escape. He told responders that he had been a virtual prisoner in that house since the age of 11 and that for all of those 21 years he had lived in torment. His sister learned from those news reports that now at the age of 32, her half-brother weighed just 69 pounds when the firefighters rescued him. The victim and his sister Heather share the same mother, a mother who gave up custody of both of them soon after they were born. Heather went into foster care and was later adopted, living the kind of life that her birth mom could not give her, a normal life. Her brother, however, had a very different upbringing. He was raised, if that's what you can call it, by his biological father and that man's wife, Kimberly Sullivan, the defendant. He and his sister Heather grew up just 15 minutes away from each other, but light years apart in every other sense. We've known for weeks about the unspeakable cruelty that brother says he endured every minute of every day in a house of horrors with his father and stepmother, but now we can actually see inside. Police in Waterbury, Connecticut have just released photos of that home, and they are as vile as we expected. Keep in mind, these pictures were taken after the victim set fire to the house in order to escape, and firefighters tried to knock that fire down. So you will see smoke damage, but that does not account for everything else you'll see. Certainly not for the filth and the locks that were fastened on the outside of doors. Kimberly Sullivan is now charged with assault, kidnapping, unlawful restraint, reckless endangerment, and cruelty to persons. And her attorney is none too pleased that these photos are making the rounds.
It was shocking, to say the least. I can't explain why it would be done. The only thing that we could think of is that it's clearly being done to sway public opinion. In 2005, the police went to the home. They spoke to the individual. They reported that he appeared healthy and happy, and that the residence appeared normal and lived in.
Happy and healthy 20 years ago. That is the best they can do? That lawyer's client is out on $300,000 bail, and my next guest thinks that that is an outrage. Heather Tessman joins me now, half-sister of the 69-pound man identified only in court papers as male victim 1. Heather, thank you so much for being on tonight to talk about this. What were your first thoughts when you heard the news about the fire and the rescue and the condition of your brother?
Well, I had first heard about what was going on via, like body cam footage on YouTube and all that. It was days later when our mom had gotten a hold of me and said, "Hey, we found your brother." It was this guy, and I was like, absolutely not. There's no way. There's no way. You just never in your wildest dreams or worst nightmare could ever even think that this would be a possibility of somebody you've been actively searching for forever.
Talk to me about that, Heather. You had tried to find him and you had reached out in the past. What was the reaction of your brother's family to your efforts to see him and to meet him and to engage as a sibling?
I was pretty much told to go away, and he wasn't there. So, as far as I was aware, he was out of high school, hopefully, and, living his own life away from these people.
But you were blocked.
That's all Huh?
You were blocked. They effectively said, no comment, no connection, be on your way.
Yeah, exactly. And if you get that direct, what are you supposed to do? There was nothing to find.
Now that you know this is what his life has been, all these years you grew up apart, have you had any luck in trying to reconnect as he tries to heal from what he's been through?
I have not had any luck, but it's not up to me at this point. It's up to him, 100%. I would love a relationship, but if he doesn't want that, I have to deal with that in my own time. But I've always wanted him, really.
Have the detectives in this case been helpful to you at all, informing you of anything that's been going on in the investigation going forward?
No. It's an active investigation, and I understand I haven't exactly been vetted, but it's like I said, not up to me.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the pictures that we're all seeing. I know what my reaction is, but he's not my brother living in these conditions. What was your reaction?
I was horrified. I had a house fire when I was younger, so I understand what like regular house fire damage looks like. And it's a pigsty and very unhygienic. I'm horrified. I really am. It's what like a house you go to Urban Explorer in after it's been abandoned for 20 years looks like, not a lived-in house.
And then there are the locks that we can see on the outside of doors. That must be harrowing to know that could be the circumstance he was looking at for 2 decades.
It's inhumane. There's no reason for it. I don't care how he was as a little kid. Nobody deserves locks on the outside of the doors. It's just subhuman.
Heather, I hope that you can reconnect with your brother at some point when he's well. I hope that there's some healing, certainly for him as well. And I wish you peace in your family. This has just been such a difficult story to report. And again, I'm not living it. So thank you for talking and sharing your story tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Heather Tessman joining us tonight.
Okay. So she didn't live with her brother, and she didn't really know her brother, and then she found out that was her brother, and then they were like, let's bring her out on camera here. She looks like she keys Teslas in her spare time. Either way, it wasn't so much about the sister. It was more about the fact that we got to see inside the house and all of that. When that was new news, we covered it, right? When they discovered this guy supposedly being locked inside of his house for 21 years, living off 2 sandwiches and a glass of water every day, sometimes getting bathroom breaks. Supposedly, sometimes he would manufacture a line of straws to pee out the window. They never said where he was taking shits. I don't understand that, but it's a very weird story. They try to paint it like it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre level craziness going on. It's weird, though, when you hear the attorney defending the woman who supposedly was living in this disgusting house and then also holding him captive. The attorney's like, been out of shape that these photos are getting out, and they're trying to maintain this woman's innocence. I don't know. I kind of want to see the guy. They really want to like impact people. They should show us what the guy looks like, because I haven't even seen what he looks like. Every time we cover this, they show everyone except for him. They don't say his name. Now, of course, they want to try and protect him because he's the victim and all of that. But you want people to be impacted by this? Show us the condition of the man that weighs 69 pounds. Like, show us that. I almost weigh like 200 pounds more than this guy. So it's really crazy to hear. But, like, if they showed us, I think it would really clear some things up. Also, I kind of feel like her charges aren't enough. Like, she should be facing death penalty. If they can prove that she really did this and she's just facing prison time where she's going to get out in 20 years, she'll still be alive. She'll still have enough time to do this to somebody else. I mean, I don't know. It's a very, very weird story. Next up, we get the last little bit of the news before we get into the fun stuff. It's titled, Racism Made Me Fat. That's right. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this follow-up video. Oh, I hear you, Breeze by You. Stay safe. Breeze by You, so sad. What was done to that guy? The house was really, really bad. No one needs to live there. Yeah. Well, it's like they should show us the room that the woman was living in. Mac Daddy, yeah, defense attorneys, they could be real pieces of poo. Yeah. I can't believe how he speaks in defense of that woman. Like, it would be hard. It'd be hard to be a defense attorney when you got a client like that. Here, Juicer, it's heartbreaking. Fuck that lawyer. Yeah. He sounds crazy. Like, the way he talks about the whole situation just sounds crazy. I couldn't imagine defending a woman that did that to somebody. Russell, he's never going to be well. Yeah, there's no way. He's been in that condition since he was a child. There's just no way. Like, there is no normalcy for him to try and get back to. The last time he was normal, he was a child. And obviously 30-year-olds shouldn't be acting like children, so there's no ground for him to walk on. It would be very difficult for him to ever become any part of normal again. He's basically going to have to be taken care of his whole life, I assume. Russell, CPS failed that guy? Absolutely. Let me see really quick here, Juicer. No, I don't see the storm itself. There's a lot of people showing radar and stuff. Here's some damage really quick so everyone's Worried about the storms really quick here.
That is going to try to be a little bit of relief. Hopefully get the power back as soon as they can. But folks, it is a lot of power lines down with the system. So if you're going to be out in this area, power is most likely going to be out for quite a bit of time. I mean, look at this, folks. You're seeing some debris out in the field. I'm going to go up over this hill. Got to be very careful, folks, especially when you're out towards these systems, because down power lines everywhere. You don't want to step on those. That can be very dangerous. But you're seeing a lot of these trees. They're pretty bare on the tops and even on the sides. It's pretty impressive, the damage path for this system that we've seen so far. Like I said, this seems to be more of a wide event for what we typically see for this system, especially if it's a higher EF1 like they do.
All right, tornado in Arkansas. Anyways, reading through before we get into this next one. 10-man, they're saying it might be F5. It's crazy. Why are we getting all these damn storms right now? Matt Rogers, I want to know how life was in the house before the dad died. Yeah, me too. There's a lot of holes in the story. Ghostly weather war with China. China. WC human caterpillar her. With who though? Just other random inmates. That's one way to serve your sentence. Elder Zoomer, I assume she'll be seen the same as pedos in prison. She probably won't make it 20 years. Yeah, Elder Zoomer. Yeah, unless they put her in not Max. Is it Max? No. I can't remember what it's called now. Maybe it is Max. Unless they put her by herself, yeah, she probably will get tuned up by somebody else. Ghostly, people who do that to their kids are just as bad as pedophiles in my book. They're the same kind of monsters. Absolutely. They're breaking their child's humanity. Screaming Eagle, now I want to erase my memory. I've seen some things I wish I could erase. Told Care, no way they did a home visit 20 years ago and everything was fine. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like I said, there's a lot of holes in the story. Maybe after they start going to court, they'll start filling in the blanks. If they actually televise the trial, maybe we'll cover it. It's been a while since we covered a trial. I can't remember the last one we covered. Was it the female officer that yelled taser, taser, and then shot the driver like 2 or 3 times? I think that might have been the last trial we covered. I can't really remember. Yeah, Jay Spray, it looks rough outside. I can't, the window's not open. I can just see through the crack between the blinds. Yeah, it's dark outside. Stern, end times. Could be the end times. The end times take 200 years, though, so even if it was, it's not like it's all going to come crashing down anytime soon. We knew it was the end of times when they started letting dudes in women's sports, or they started giving men in dresses Women of the Year award. What's right is wrong and what's wrong is right. That's how you know you're in the end of times. But like I said, it takes 200 years. What's up, Johnny? Happy freedom to you. All right, hooligans. We'll get into this last little bit of the news. It's kind of news. It's not really news. It's sort of news. Let me get this pulled up really quick. This is this is titled "Racism Made Me Fat."
When people talk about black women being obese, I hate it because it becomes a way to blame us for a set of conditions that we didn't create. We are living in the Trump era. And look, those policies kill our people. And what public health practitioners think is that our stress responses in the body change our metabolism. It's literally that the racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
It's Trump's fault I'm fat. Okay. All right. Whatever you say. All right, hooligans, like I said, that is the last little bit of the news. We got the fun stuff coming up next. We're going to be opening today's door from the Advent calendar that was sent to us by Wad. Then we got 2 funny videos of the day. First one's titled Singing Passionately, and our official funny video of the day is titled Impressive. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use that Linktree link in the description in order to send donations. You could do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. Like I said, we're going to get into the Advent calendar here that was sent to us by Wad. Not sure. I'm a lot closer to the camera than I was. I almost touched the damn camera. That's right. Show me on the camera where he touched you. Anyways, let's figure out what day today is. It could be day 17, it looks like. Let's see what we get today. I drink this whole damn thing, but I got taxes going on. Oh, God. Just hit me with lightning. Drinks by the Drum, Moore's Signature, Australian Single Malt Whiskey. I don't think I've ever drank Australian whiskey. This is something else. Thank you so much, Wad. I really appreciate you. Heck yeah. All right, hooligans, let's get into the fun stuff here. Let's get these videos pulled up. Let me see here. This first one is the hair juicer experience. All right. This is titled Singing Passionately. Okay. Getting into our next funny video of the day. This is the official funny video of the day. Let's get this pulled up. Let's see right here. All right. This is titled Impressive.
Well, I'm about to impress the shit out of you guys. Because I just gave myself a survey. I'm giving myself the biggest dick award.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. I'm going to grab this Linktree link really quick and drop it in all of the chats. We're going to read through, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Screaming Eagle, doggies are better people than humans. You are right. All right, hooligans, there is the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, we'd really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7. And we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You'll also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to the forums, which is to encourage open discussion. You'll have access to the arcade, which is full of games that are a ton of fun. And you also have access to our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats that gives you the ability to text each other, call each other, video call each other, group texting, group calling, group video calling, and more. jeffmaclive.com is the place to be and the home of the Hooligans. So definitely go get yourself a membership. Like I said, we're going to read through really quick, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Oh, I appreciate you being here, 10 Man. Stay safe out there. Thanks for being here, Sam. You be safe as well. Here, Juicy, that's about what it sounds like when I get home. Yeah, I figured. Guess I'm got that award. Very nice. Mac Daddy, my friend's dog, used to sing the same way when he would play his bass. That's awesome. Yeah, Josh 1776, absolutely. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff when it comes to the website. Everybody on the website can do self-promotion and all of that. All of you guys pay to be there. So you don't have to worry about stepping on my toes or anything like that. Yeah, definitely go post it up. Jay Spray, do you like ciders? Like alcohol? Yes, if that's what you're talking about. Otherwise, I don't know what you're talking about. Mac Daddy, how is no one talking about TikTok disappearing in a couple days? The only reason we didn't cover the TikTok story is, one, all of the hooligans seem to not give a fuck about TikTok, so I thought we had a full schedule. Why not, skip that? The other reason why it doesn't have priority is because if they don't sell it, President Trump is going to extend the ban. They're not going to disappear. I think they got 2 days or 3 days or something, or maybe they got till Saturday, which maybe that's in 2-3 days. I'm not sure. In a couple days, the deadline is coming up. Amazon just put a bid on TikTok to try and offer to purchase it. As far as I know, no deals have been made. I think they're going to wait for the expiration date of whatever the suspension that's going on. President Trump has already said that he has the authority and will most likely extend the due date or whatever, because people are actively making offers on TikTok. If nobody was making offers, they would just ban TikTok. But because people are making offers, they're going to extend the time. I don't know if they're going to extend it 30 days or 90 days or exactly how it's going to go. But TikTok's not going to end up going away. So with the lack of interest of the hooligans not really caring about TikTok, and the fact that it's not really going to get banned, is why I didn't put it on the schedule today. The 5th is the deadline. So yeah, 3 days. Mac Daddy banned Facebook. Yeah, they should ban Facebook. Facebook sucks. Oh, I appreciate you, Sam. Thank you. Please stay safe out there, you hooligans. Thanks for being here, Russell. Stoner, yeah, fuck those TikTok nurses. Nah, don't do that. Them nurses is crazy. You fuck them, then you got to live with them the rest of your life. Just don't get them pregnant. You'll be all right. What's up, Dudden? Happy freedom to you. Hey, thank you, Too Old to Care. Yeah, I pray to God I can get these taxes done tonight so I can just get past it. The stress is overwhelming. Everybody's leaving. Should we not do the Pledge of Allegiance anymore? I notice everybody leaves before we even do the pledge now. Mills, I don't care about TikTok and think they should outlaw all foreign-owned companies in the U.S. How do they pick and choose who to censor? It should be all or none not playing favorites. Well, that's the whole reason why they want to ban TikTok, Mills, is because they can't. There's no uniform censorship as long as there's TikTok. The White House controls what Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, any of the social media, they control all of that stuff. The Supreme Court ruled maybe 4 or 5 months ago that it was not against free speech and it was not government overreach for the government to make contact with social media and tell them who to take down for any reason they want to. The Supreme Court says that's justified. They can't get a hold of TikTok because the people that own TikTok are in China, and China's not taking orders from America, especially when it comes to censorship. So we didn't want it, but the White House wanted to ban TikTok because they can't control the censorship for it. Now they got sales offers to purchase TikTok, and when they do purchase it, it will be censored just like the rest of social media. The only way to escape censorship is to get a membership on jeffmaclive.com. That's literally the whole reason why I even made this website, is so we can escape censorship. Now, I don't want videos of death, and I don't want porn on there, but anything less than that is pretty much okay. I don't want racism, but I don't like anything less than committing a crime is pretty much fine, because we should be able to say ivermectin or 9/11 or abortion, or if I say any more, fucking YouTube will give me a strike. I've gotten a strike for saying all three of those fucking words. So you can say all those words and the fuck word over on jeffmaclive.com. Just go get yourself a membership. Mills, then we need TikTok. Yeah, see, but you were just saying we should ban it. See, but that's how it goes. That right there is exactly why we need to keep doing what we're doing. Because the news will tell you one thing and news will tell you another. But see, we all get together, we all share the news, we all stay in connection with each other, and we discuss everything we watch. A lot of people come in and shit on me because I don't deliver the news. I could sit here and write down all the details of these videos and just tell you guys what the video said. But who am I? Right? I'm just a person. Why would you believe me? And you're getting it through my interpretation of the news, which means it's not 100% accurate. So instead, we all watch the news together. We get together and we discuss what we're watching. We stay up to date with what's going on, follow-up videos. We cover follow-up videos every single day to make sure that we're keeping up with stories. We watch propaganda. We watch actual news. We watch lives. We watch everything so we can form solid opinions and go out there and wake the normies up. That's the whole point of what we do. I just don't have a nice way to package it so people come in here and shit on me and act like what we're doing isn't important. It is important because our perspective is how we make decisions about life. Having all this information and having a big community so we can all discuss things and share things with each other keeps us all on the same page. It keeps us whole, and it keeps us from falling for propaganda. And so that's the importance of it. That's why we have free communities. That's why we got paid communities. And that's why no matter what happens in the world, we all stay together. That's the whole reason I created the website, is because the censorship shows up and it starts cracking down on us. They can kick over all these towers. They could kick us off of YouTube. They could kick us off of Twitch. They could kick us off of Kick. They could kick us off of Rumble. They could kick us off of X, but they cannot kick me off my own damn website. They're not able to. And so that's why we're doing what we're doing. It's important. There's a lot of hooligans that support it because they can see the importance of it. And back in the lockdown days where people were feeling alone and feeling like they can't connect with everybody else and all the wokeism was going on, people felt the importance of our community. So that's why I wake up and do what I do every day. Anyways, you know what time it is, you hooligans. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we did the thing. We're going to read through one last time to make sure no hooligans are left behind, but we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Oh, I appreciate you, Snooks. Thank you, Get Some. Get Some. Scratch his head. How did he know how I was feeling when I was alone? Scary. I'm like Santa Claus, Get Some. I know when you're sleeping and I know when you're awake. It happens. People used to feel that on Discord all the time. People would show up and they'd start saying stuff and they'd be like, have you seen Jeff lately? And then I would just put an emoji reaction on it and they're like, oh, he's here. He's watching us. I'm always watching. Gotta watch over the hooligans. Guess stand tall. Tax time is here. If you don't pay, you'll have IRS in your rear. That's right. That's why I'm so stressed about it. I wish taxes didn't take so much. If it wasn't incriminating, I'd show you guys my tax paperwork. It's like this thick. And I got to hand make all these documents because there's no pre-made documents. I don't get 1099s or anything like that. It's a pain in the ass. Thanks for being here, Mac Daddy. Guess I'm Stalker Klaus. Yeah. Yeah, when he's not doing the parameter, he's going and checking on all you hooligans and coming back, giving me notice. Thanks for being here, Josh1776. Thank you, Too Old to Care. Love you, too. Thank you, Tony Riz. What's up, Enter User? Happy Freedom. Indiana has lots of warnings right now. You guys be safe. Thank you, WC. Enter user, not a happy Wednesday. Because of me or because of you? Not because of you. I'm having a bad Wednesday, but you guys are turning it around. Why are you having a bad Wednesday, enter user? It happens sometimes, too old to care. I actually watch videos to learn to speak less preachy because I feel like it pushes you guys away. Viola, do the pledge at the beginning and mix it up a little bit. Well, see, the problem is when I start the live, there's like a whole 16 people here. If I can remember, we'll do the pledge tomorrow. And when we get to the end of the live and everyone's bitching that we're not doing the pledge, I'm going to blame it on you, Viola. I'm going to blame it on you. I'm going to say, Viola said we had to do it at the beginning of the live when no one showed up. But maybe it'll be incentive for people to show up on time, so you never know. Viola, do it in the middle? We'll see. We'll figure it out. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here, Meta. Thank you, Tony Rich. Appreciate you, Tori Wayne. Thanks for being here, Shanti. I hope you have a great night as well. Thank you, Cinderella. You be safe as well. Jim, keep the pledge. We will. Appreciate you, Miss Gen X. Happy freedom to you, Mills. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Shanti. What's up, Dance? Happy freedom to you. Ain't seen you in a while. Wayward School did it at the beginning. I know. And I was originally going to do it in the beginning, but nobody shows up in the beginning. J Spray, if you're in a warning, tuck it like a trans. I mean, that's some advice. I remember in school they just made us go in the hallway and lay down with our face tucked between our legs. That way you could kiss your ass goodbye before the tornado gets you, I guess. Ghostly, oh, I'm gonna bitch. You crack me up, Ghostly. Thanks, Guess Who. I appreciate you. All right, it looks like we're good to go, hooligans. You guys be safe, especially if you're experiencing bad weather. If you're not experiencing bad weather, well, the damn lefties are still out there, especially if you drive a Tesla. You got to protect your Tesla. Anyways, I'm finna go get some decent food. I don't know, do the best I can, but these damn taxes, they're calling me and weighing on my conscience. Be praying to God tonight. Give me peace. Either way, I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Have a fantastic night. And please come back tomorrow because we'll be live again 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.
leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast, and I'll tell them, well, I killed a cow out back, baby. You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat